Why do certain people, places, or fears feel strangely familiar, like you've lived them before? Today, questions people commonly ask about past lives are answered by Archangel Metatron. Question 1. How can I find out about my past lives without hiring a professional? Metatron says, just ask if you can. Communicate with your guides. Secondly, through a mammy, the gift of dreams. And thirdly, you find a good medium. In plain terms, ask your guides directly or work through dreams. A good medium can also help, but it's not required. Question 2. Why do certain people, places, or fears feel oddly familiar? Metatron says, you Lani, which means get help Nani. You get strong health from Nani. And Kigi, inner work. So that one's a tough one to interpret because I've been working with the angel language for so long that it kind of flows out from them to me now. They just expect me to understand everything. Sometimes I have to look, I have a glossary, I have to look up the words and make sure I know what they're saying. But in plain terms, what they're saying here is, it's the quiet, ongoing help you're given toward greater inner strength and help. Familiarity is part of that support. Can a past life wound still be affecting me now, and how would I know? This is question 3. And Metatron says, you know because it isn't from now. So you'll recognize it because it won't make sense as something from your current life. Question 4, do soulmates and twin flames come from shared past lives? Hold on. Metatron says, there are no soulmates or twin flames. Then why do we think there are? Metatron says, you like romance. There are soul groups of 5 souls, and they do not always meet in a lifetime. The purpose of one soul group is to acknowledge good learning, the good learning gift of NAMI, which is big inner work. They do not connect during a lifetime, but only between lives. If one is in the in-between life, that one will wait there for the others so they can connect before joining a new human. The in-between wait time could last as long as 100 years or more. Souls never immediately jump into a new body. So, what are we saying here? We're saying soulmates and twin flames aren't real categories. That's a romantic idea we're drawn to. I like it. I think it's kind of cool. What's real is soul groups of 5 who may not meet in a given lifetime, but reconnect between lives once everybody's ready. A little bonus question here. What is it that the soul carries from a life into the next? And Metatron says, memories of life events, good and bad. The memories carry no energy, such as debt or regret. So just memories, the good and the bad, but no attached energy like debt or regret. Doesn't happen. Another question I asked, what is it that people are seeking when looking into past lives? Because here we are doing it. Metatron says they try to find a connection to God or Source. Question 5. Is it possible to clear karma from a past life, or does it just resolve on its own? Here again, hold on. Metatron says, no karma is brought forward from a past life. If you have good or bad karma in this life, it does not carry over to the next life. Karma is resolved during life review with the guidance of Source and angels. We remain in life review until it is resolved. The soul doesn't carry it. Good karma gets absorbed into the stream of consciousness along with your life force energy and higher self. Why do we put so much weight and complication on ourselves, I asked. Metatron says, because of belief that God, or Source, only blesses good behavior. God is not in the business of blessing behavior, good or bad. God is love. God is here for love and is love. In plain terms, karma doesn't carry forward at all. It's resolved during life review with God and the angels before you move on. Good karma simply becomes part of the larger flow of consciousness. And then I asked, are there consequences for bad behavior? Metatron says, after death, you get Manny, given a feeling of kindness. Angels getting justice by taking illness. They kind of like make visible Nani, health and justice. So they make that visible. In review, the angels help the person to see what they did that was against good health and justice, good behavior, against all of that. They make that visible to your life force energy. At this point, the soul has departed to join the soul group, and the higher self has rejoined this greater stream of consciousness. For the life force energy, the more bad behavior done, the longer the review process. I asked, does it matter to the life force energy how long the review takes, and if so, why? Metatron says, yes, because it is painful to only see the bad things you have done. During life reviews, do we also look at good behavior? That's another question. Metatron says, no, you already know the good done. You all get to return to Nani, strong love and kindness to oneself and others. All right, so what are we saying here? Yes, after death, the angels help you clearly see what worked against health, justice, and goodness. The more difficult behavior in a life, the longer the review takes, because it's generally painful to face. Good deeds aren't part of this review. You already know the good you did. That's this episode on past lives. Whatever felt familiar today is worth sitting with. Next time, we go into soul and purpose. Until then, stay in love.